Hi there. Thank you for joining me. This is Sharon and my channel is Spare Time Art Design. I named it that because I do this in my spare time. Gee, bet nobody figured that out, huh? So what I'm going to be doing is a colander pour. I have a 14 by 14 canvas and a strainer. And I'm going to be pouring my colors. I have purple and I have black. I think this is called fluorescent purple. And I have a turquoise that I mixed myself with phthalo blue and phthalo green, and a little bit of white. And this is quinacridone magenta. And this purple is, did I mix this or did it come out of a tube? Anyway, all my paints are Liquitex, medium body I think. And I mix them with Floetrol and just a tiny bit of Liquitex pouring medium. So I don't have a base coat on my canvas because I figure I'm going to be pouring a lot of paint on there, and if I need to add some white paint or black paint or whatever to the corners to get it to flow, I'll do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and start layering my cup. I debated on whether or not to pour each color separately and do it that way, or to do like a dirty pour right on top of the colander. So I decided I'm going to do dirty pour. I've seen people do it that way and it comes out nice, so I figured I'll give it a try. The last one I did, I poured it separately, but my paints were too thin and they all kind of muddied up together. So I'm going to give this a try and see what happens. So I'm going to start out with black. And let me do this. Wipe those drips off a little bit. So we'll start with black. And let's go with something a little bit lighter. We'll do the fluorescent purple. Okay, and let's go with the turquoise. And magenta. I'm going to need about 7 ounces of paint, so that's what I'm aiming for here. I mixed it, the amounts according to the chart that I use for, not really a chart, but the formula that I use to mix paint. So you have a 14 by 14 canvas. You multiply 14 by 14 together and you come up with your number, and then you divide it by 28, and what you come up with after that is the ounces of paint that you need for the square inches for the canvas, and that came up to 7. So that is what I'm doing, is making 7 ounces. I'm using 5 cups, so I divided it by 5, and I need 1.5 ounces thereabouts to do this in each cup. So each cup has 1.5 ounces, and by the time I get done pouring it all in this cup, I should have 7 ounces. Now mind you, I don't math, but that is about as close as I get to doing any kind of mathematic equations. So for me, that's good. I always mix just a little bit extra, just in case. Just in case. You know what? I think I'm going to hold off on the black because I've got a lot of black in there and I really don't want it to take over. Where am I at here? I'm getting close. All right. I'm getting close. almost there. But I'll have extra here just in case I need it. Not much though, just scrape the cup extra. And purple. It's almost at 7.5 ounces, so I should be okay. Should have plenty of paint. And every time I go by this formula, I always have extra, so. All right, let me get this paint off the box. So all the paint that I had in here before dried and I peeled it off. I don't know if anybody else is obsessed with peeling the paint when it dries, but I am. I love it. It's kind of like peeling somebody's back when they got sunburnt. Okay, so I'm gonna, forgot to wet my wipe off rag here, so let me pause this for a second and go wet my rag and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Let me get my gloves on. Oh, my hands aren't all the way dry. It's a pain to get gloves on when your hands aren't completely dry. Yeah, and then I always end up sticking a fingernail through them or something. All right, there's one. Okay. That was exciting, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring. See what this does. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. I hope. Looks mighty pretty in the strainer. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put something underneath the back of my box so it doesn't roll backwards. Let me do that real quick. There we go. One of these days I'll be prepared, I hope. So let me tip this a little bit this way. All right, let's get the rest of this in here. It looks fabulous in here. All right, now I watched somebody do this, and the trick to this is to lift up and let this drip. And it gives some pretty cool results. Just trying to get all the paint out of there. All right, I have a plate here to put this on. Let's see if we can't get some more paint to come through these holes here. It's all kind of sitting in there. I don't like wasting paint. think we got most of it out of there. I'll just leave that in there. Put this on my plate. And what do you think of that? That's really pretty. Oh, and I did put silicone in this, so we might end up with some cells. I'm just going to kind of stretch this out a little bit. There's lots of bubbles in there. These colors are amazing. Can you see that? These colors are absolutely gorgeous. I would like to thank my friend Casey for suggesting these colors. She too is an artist and is amazing at drawing. I'm trying to talk her into coming over here and learning how to pour paint with me. So one of these days I'll get her over here and we'll do some pour painting together. Are you listening to me, Casey? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and torch this. All these bubbles popped. It looks like my calculations were spot on because I still have a lot of paint in the middle and really not that much left to go to get this over the edge, so I should do okay. I'm going to use black. I really don't want any white popping through on this. I kind of want to keep it the way it is. So, all you moms out there, do you have any plans for Mother's Day? I don't know if I do or not. I haven't heard anything from my son yet, so. But he's never missed a Mother's Day, so I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve. God, these colors are gorgeous. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see what we can do with this here. Casey, I'm glad you suggested these colors. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. I like anything with black. All right, let's just take this one over too. All right, I always get kind of quiet when I'm tipping because it's so scientific, you know. I wonder if I should leave those edges. If I should leave those edges black and leave a little bit of negative space on there. Let me let it sit here for a little bit. And we'll get these edges taken care of here. I don't know. I always like stuff with negative space, but every time I do it, I really don't have the best luck with it looking good. It just, you know, and some people when they do it, it looks like that's the way it should be, but every time I've done it, it's always looked like it's unfinished. So, and I really need to check and see how much paint I've got sitting in the middle too, because I don't want to, I can't tell if I've got all those edges covered or not. There's so much glare there, I can't really tell. I don't know. What do you all think? What do you think I should do? You think I should leave it, or do you think I should tilt it some more? I'm kind of torn. It's probably kind of hard for you to see with that glare there too. I apologize for that. Alright, so I'm going to tilt it back this way a little bit. Oh, there's still quite a bit of paint on there. Tilt it this way. And I think I'm going to leave the negative space. I've got some nice magenta popping out there. Get rid of some of this extra paint. I kind of like the way it looks where it's kind of spread out there. I got a lot of paint, so I'm gonna have to get rid of some. But the colors are all staying defined, so it's not getting muddy or anything like that, so that's good. Get rid of some more paint down this way. And come back this way. So what do y'all think of that? I wish I could hear you. Got magenta popping up here and a little bit right there. Let me torch it and see what happens. Really doing a whole lot. Probably because I still have too much paint on there. Cover up my fingerprints. I can't decide. You know what? I think I'm gonna stretch it some more and get some more of this paint off. And then if I want to, I can always just add black to these corners. But I think I really need to get some more of this paint off of here because there's still quite a bit. Sorry for showing you the back of the canvas. Yeah, I've got a lot of paint here. Sorry I'm quiet. I realized after I haven't been talking for a while that I'm quiet. You're probably wondering, what's wrong with her? Why isn't she talking? I really like, I'm glad I tipped it because it kind of broke up that black in the center there. It isn't quite as blobby in the middle. I wish I had some more magenta in there. Let's go down this way. Got a lot of paint down there. I think I might take a card and a spatula and try and put some paint on it and see what it does. Oh, and I wanted to show you the results of my pink and gold pour. It turned out really pretty. So I will do that as well. I think I'm just going to stretch the hell out of this because I really didn't get a lot of cells. I only put a little bit of silicone in those paints and they're a little bit thicker. So I really don't care if I get cells or not. It's not the end of the world for me if I don't. Alright, let's torch this again and see what happens. Not much. Okay. So I got to cover up my spots here. I think I've run it out about as thin as I can go without, because my little edges here are kind of thin. And I got a couple spots over here that are a little bit thin now from where the silicone was. And I don't know. I can't decide what I want to do, which is typical for me. Alright, so I had spatulas here. Let's see what we can do with this edge here. So all you do is you take it, you scoop it up, and you lay it down and you just kind of drag it on there. There you go. And then run over the edge. Let it run over the edge. You don't want to swipe it or anything like that because you'll just make mud. But this way you keep the pattern. Does that make sense? And it ends up being kind of thick too, so I'm just gonna kind of let that drip down a little bit. Did I get all the way over? Yeah. There we go. Alrighty. I like that. I think it's kind of pretty. Cover up all the spots. I'm going to do this right here in the edges. I ran it out a little bit thin there, so we'll do this, because if you just keep using your finger and tapping it and trying to cover it up, you're going to get mud and it's going to look weird. This way you still have the separation of the colors. and it looks a lot better. And again, I'm not talking, I apologize. This is just so intense. Yeah, right. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. Once again, I decided against the negative space. I think maybe if it was more just right in the middle like that, negative space would look better, but just two blobs on that side. I mean, I could do black on all four corners, but not really necessary. Alright, let's bring this up so you can see it. I'm not good at this. It's like trying to do something in a mirror. Of course, the color changes when you get close, but anyway, you can kind of see it. I think it's pretty. I love these colors. Thank you, Casey, for suggesting them. I think that is gonna be it. I wanted to show you that other painting that I did. I'm gonna go grab it real quick and hold it up to the camera so you can see it. It turned out pretty good. It could have had a little bit more gold, but for the most part, I think it looks really good. So hold on just a minute and I'll go grab it. All right, here it is. Try and get the glare off of there. But I think it turned out pretty good. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more gold in there. But, oh, there goes the color. But for the most part, I think it looks pretty decent. I had a big blob of gold right here, but you can see a lot of cells popped through it, so didn't look so blobby after that. When it's dry, I just need to let it cure. But I like it. I'm gonna post a picture of it on acrylic pour painting on Facebook, and then also I will post it on my Facebook, which is Spare Time Art Design, and you can get a little bit better close up on it. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. But I think I might do a record pour after this. I'm gonna take a look at my paints and see what colors I can come up with that might look good, and I might share a record pour with you after a little bit. So anyway, let's let this dry and we'll see how it turns out, and I'll give you a close-up when it's a little bit drier so I don't tip paint off of it trying to show it to you. Alrighty, well, thanks for joining me. This is Sharon, and if you liked my video, like it or subscribe. Whatever you feel like doing works for me. So have a good evening, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.